I put a video tease earlier today. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones. And you know what's funny to me too? Spurs fan always has an opinion, right? So Bear County Social Apparel, our good friend there, put out, a throwback picture kind of, when the Spurs had the black Fiesta unis that looked really good, when they were trying to make a splash during that COVID era.
Yeah.
Spurs fans loved them. They only came out like 3 seasons and they're like, we're going to retire them. And I have knowledge of this, but people always act like they know. They don't know shit.
Right.
I know. And I know for a fact that the Spurs don't like the Fiesta colors. They never have. And that's one of the reasons why they're not bringing out the jerseys anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They retired them. They don't want those anymore. They want to stick with silver and black. They want to stick with whatever Nike's putting out there. Copy and paste job from last season. It's uninspired. It's lazy. At the end of the day, Spurs organization are the ones that sign off on the design. So people can say what they want, but I know for a fact. I'll put it like that.
So Jerry Jones is back on 105.3 The Fan this morning.
Yeah.
Talking his nonsense. You wouldn't happen to have a water, would you?
I don't think I have. I have diet sodas there.
I'll take one.
Yeah, in the fridge, yeah. Man, water. You can get you a little beer, a little pour. I'm telling you, a Diet Dr. B hit different. I'm telling you, it's good. What's up, Matt Lerma? Sam Salinas, thanks for joining.
Getting me a
Tex-Mex
Dr.
Frank.
B.
Good old Diet Dr. B, man. If I ever held up a bank and they'd asked for negotiations, bring me some Diet Dr. B.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. My name's Mike Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. We're going to go for about an hour and a half today talking sports, pop culture, nostalgia. You get to direct the way the show goes by taking part in our YouTube stream, which is powered by MCS General Contracting. They sponsor our chat line here. We see Tony Arnalis already there. Roy, JHNSB, Sam Salinas, all you guys are already on the feed right now. Tex-Mex Frank, good morning to everybody. It is Tuesday in the Alamo City, and we're going to get into a lot of different sports topics today. First of all, it's the beginning of the NBA season. For the Spurs, it doesn't get going for 2 days, but the NBA season, regular season, starts today, so we'll talk about that. But we really got to get a deep dive into Troy Aikman, Joe. Troy Aikman going after Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys yet again. And he did it on Monday Night Football. He did it on Sports Talk Radio. And this morning, Jerry Jones is playing defense back on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Remember last week, we're talking about this time, Jerry Jones got so defensive last week that he threatened the jobs of all 3 Sports Talk Radio hosts who were grilling him about his inability to bring talent to Dallas. And the reason why the Cowboys are just a team, maybe a below average team at this point when it's all said and done.
Did you see his response he had today on 105.3?
Yeah, we're going to get into that because they asked the question, are you going to be a seller when it comes to that? RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys, who might possibly be the biggest Dallas Cowboys fan that I know, the most cerebral fan that I know, I think he's melting down right now on Twitter. Not melting down in a bad way, but melting down as in like he's just had it. He's just had it. And right now the Cowboys are 3-3, going to be on the verge of going 3-7 when it's all said and done. But it brought up the question about, is it right for a player, especially a legend, to criticize their old team? Jerry Jones has owned this team since the late 80s. Troy Aikman led them to 3 Super Bowl victories in the 90s. Hall of Famer. When Troy talks, people listen. When Emmitt Smith talks, people listen. When Michael Irvin talks, people listen, especially Cowboy fan. Imagine if this happened to the Spurs. Imagine if David Robinson or Sean Elliott, somebody from the 90s, came out and started talking crap about Gregg Popovich or about the Holt family or about R.C. Buford, Brian Wright. How would we take that? Because that's exactly what's going on right now in Dallas with the Cowboys. They're being criticized by one of their own legends. And it happened on Monday Night Football as the whole world saw Derrick Henry go off and do what Derrick Henry does. Now we have to ask ourselves the question, is not going after Derrick Henry the worst thing that Jerry Jones has ever done? Some people would still say that it's firing Tom Landry. Or on the flip side, looking at the Ravens play yesterday with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry going off for more than 10 yards per carry, is that the team to beat right now? A two-loss team. Is that two-loss Ravens team better than the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs, an undefeated Super Bowl champion who's going for a three-peat? Lots to get into today. Joe, how are you doing this morning, my man?
Doing good, man. I got something to show everybody because we will show you all what we just got yesterday, man. Got a whole stack of them. Everybody's wanting these Alamo City Sportscast stickers. You see them?
Nice.
Got a whole stack of them here. And I also got a whole stack of the Area 210 stickers. Everybody likes these as well. These will be available for purchase, man. So we'll go ahead and flash that on the screen here sometime during the show. If you all want to buy some stickers, we'll set the price at $3 because that includes the shipping as well. Because they got to pay for envelopes and stamps and all that. It's not free.
Yeah.
You know? So we got to go ahead and charge people $3 if they want to buy a sticker. We'll go ahead and put the email out there where if they want to buy some, get in contact with us. We'll send you the payment options and we'll send you one or two or three.
They look good.
Yeah.
They look good. Joe, Monday Night Football yesterday was pretty impressive. I was excited about, I know we had two games yesterday, but really the game that everyone was paying attention to was the Ravens going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers also came into the game at 4-2. Good team. They're a good team. They were the home team.
Yeah.
So you would think that they may have a puncher's chance going up against the Ravens, but the Ravens went in there and just kicked some ass, beat them 41-31, and it really wasn't that close. The Bucs scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to make it close. They Baker Mayfield getting those Dak Prescott stats down the stretch.
Junk stats. I saw at the end, it's typical what happens with the Ravens. They have a big league and they kind of let teams back in the game a little bit.
Yeah.
They get a little bit lackadaisical and they have some lapses on defense. They don't play their best. Team comes back. But, I mean, at that point, the game was pretty much over.
Right.
They got an onside kick that bounced their way. It was all luck. I mean,
it was just junk stats. The Bucs were leading 10-0 after the first quarter, but the Ravens put up 17 points in the second quarter, 17 points in the third quarter, going up 34-10 into the fourth. The game was over at that point. Lamar Jackson, though. This guy's already won the MVP, twice already? 281 yards, 5 touchdowns. But Derrick Henry going out there, 15 carries, 169 yards, including an 81-yard run. Rashad Bateman, 121 yards receiving. The Ravens are showing that they may be the class right now of the AFC, because I will look at the Ravens play right now, Joe, and I think that they're better than the Chiefs. The Chiefs are smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and mirrors.
You know what's funny is that you and a lot of fans think that, but every year they manage to find a way to get into the Super Bowl, and they've won it, right? The last 2 years.
Yeah.
Then it looks like the league is doing all they can to get them there to the promised land again. So despite what the eye test tells you, the one thing that happens with the Ravens is when they get to the big moment, they fold, dude.
But this is the first time that they've gotten to the big moment where Derrick Henry's in the backfield.
I understand that.
That's different because
they got to prove something to me, though.
It's different when you have Gus Edwards back there, right? Like who gets afraid when it's like Lamar Jackson under center, Gus Edwards back there? We're going to focus on Lamar Jackson. But
Ravens
now you have
done that, though,
now you have Derrick Henry, a future Hall of Famer, who's we saw
best running back in the game.
We saw Lamar Jackson say that's a 250-pound muscle, not a 250-pound man. It's 250 pounds of muscles.
That's
coming at your way.
That's a freight train coming your way, man.
Dude, if you ever saw Google or YouTube rather, Derrick Henry high school highlights.
Oh, he got people just hanging on him, dude.
A man amongst boys, just throwing people off.
They're trying to get him down, and they're just hanging off of him, and he's still running with them.
Now that long run that he had yesterday, you know who the lead blocker was on that play?
Who is it?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh God. Dude.
Now Lamar Jackson wasn't going over there doing pancake blocks or anything like that, but Lamar Jackson ran side by side with him and was clearing the path for Derrick Henry, which was amazing. Just running down the left side of the field, and they were running together at a 4-4 pace, right, the entire time. I'm sorry, if I could bet money on who's going to win the Super Bowl right now, I'd bet the Ravens. I think at some point Lamar Jackson needs to get it together. Lamar Jackson can't be that guy who wins 3 MVP awards rather, and no Super Bowl appearances. Somebody's got to beat that team from the Chiefs. Dude, the Chiefs don't have any wide receivers anymore, man. They lost Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
They lost Juju Smith-Schuster now. They've got Xavier Worthy, who's a really good rookie. Travis Kelce's 35 years old. Something's got to give with the Chiefs, and I don't buy the Chiefs.
Look at Mario Cavazos' comment.
Yeah, the Chiefs are the only team, he says, that can pick up players at Home Depot and not miss a beat. That's exactly what they're doing. But then the weather changes, right? The weather changes. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, if you want to see the brilliance that Patrick Mahomes is, he's by far the best quarterback in the NFL, the most cerebral quarterback, the most gifted one is Lamar Jackson, right? By the way, have you seen the stat? There's only one quarterback who hasn't thrown an interception this year. One starting quarterback. Can you tell me which quarterback that is?
Who is it?
The one that's accused of being a turnover hound. Dare I say that right now, 7 games into the year, Josh Allen has 0 interceptions thrown. 7 games in a row. He has thrown for 323 against the Titans, 215, 131, 180, 263, 139, 232. He has almost 1,500 yards passing, right? 12 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. He's not lighting it up for 300, but he has 0. How do you have 0 interceptions after 7 games?
That means that he's playing at do I dare say, an MVP level?
It kind of is. He's putting his team in position. They're not winning all their games.
Yeah, but he's having a great season. The thing is, right now, your MVPs, I think that we're showing, when I was looking at, some of the analysts that were talking here on the NFL Network, they were saying that Lamar Jackson, they have him right now at the top of the list.
He has to be.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback's award. Now, what happens, Joe, if Derrick Henry rushes for 2,000 yards?
Ooh, you're going to have competition on the same team?
Do they steal from each other? Look, here's the right. Okay, and this is where the Cowboys come into play. Here's Derrick Henry's stats to start the year. First game of the season, Joe, 46 yards. Had a touchdown, but 46 yards. Second game of the season against the Raiders, 84 yards. So people are looking at him going, okay, well, he has 130 yards rushing the first 2 games of his career with the Ravens. Not bad, not good, right? Joe, here's the last 5 games.
Let's listen to him.
151, 199, 92, 132, 169 last night, along with 6 touchdowns. He has 8 touchdowns on the year. He has 873 yards rushing in 7 games, along with 8 touchdowns. And I'm going to do the math on this, Joe. 873 divided by 7. He's averaging 125 yards per game, 124 and change. Extrapolate that by 17 games. He's on track for 2,120 yards rushing, Joe.
Damn. Not bad.
So yesterday on Monday Night Football, they set him up. It was like an alley-oop to Troy Aikman. They said, man, can you believe Derrick Henry was a free agent? Do you know of any other teams that could have used him? And Troy Aikman chimes in with, well, Derrick Henry does live in Dallas in the offseason. He probably would have liked to have stayed home. And that just brings up the fact that earlier in the day on the ticket, Troy Aikman criticized the wide receivers of the Cowboys, saying that their route running sucks ass. He criticized them hardcore, going, I could never play with these guys. They're not crisp. They don't run good routes. They don't juke. They don't do anything good. Reading between the lines, that's what he's saying. And then he follows that up on Monday Night Football, where tens of millions of people are watching, and he's there criticizing Jerry Jones for not going after Derrick Henry by saying the Cowboys could have used a guy like that. And oh, by the way, he's from Dallas. And oh, by the way, they didn't even call him. He would have taken a hometown discount. Texas is a state with no income tax. He could have taken a discount. Instead, he goes to the Ravens, and now they're poised to go far. How much better would this Cowboys team be, Joe, if they took out Rico Dowdle, they took out Zeke Elliott, and they had Derrick Henry and his 2,000 yards for the season in the backfield behind Dak Prescott? How much better would Dak Prescott be?
At least maybe 2-3 games better.
Derrick Henry signed an $8 million a year deal. 8.
That's nothing, dude.
They used to pay Zeke, 15? They paid Pollard 11.
Yeah. But you know what Jerry said when he had the opportunity to get Derrick Henry? Because you know who's the agent for Derrick Henry? Same agent that Dak Prescott has.
Really?
They could have went ahead and got them both at the same time if they wanted to. But Jerry, instead, he says, nah, I want to watch Zeke. That's who I want. That's who
loyalty.
I want.
Loyalty, baby. Loyalty.
And he's like, he also mentioned on his, show that he has on 105.3 The Fan. He doesn't believe that Derrick Henry would have been good on this Cowboys team because they don't run a good scheme for him.
Scheme. Like there's a scheme for Derrick Henry.
I'm like, when you have somebody that's the caliber of Derrick Henry, right? Wouldn't you want to change what you're doing out there on the field to suit your running back's needs? I mean, you got an elite running back there.
Right.
You're going to change what you're doing out there so it can benefit not only him, but be in the best interest of Zach and the team's offense moving forward. Because now you got a weapon, right? Right now, who do the Cowboys got? No one.
No one.
Nobody.
No one. And I'm looking at Derrick Henry's all-time stats, Joe. You know, Derrick Henry is now the 30th highest rusher, best rusher of all time in NFL history. He has 10,375 yards, right? He passed Ricky Williams, Clinton Portis, and Otis Anderson in the last couple of weeks. Here's who's next on the list that more than likely he's going to track down. Do you think that maybe he can get another 1,000 yards in the next 10 games?
Maybe.
Okay. If he does that, here are the names that he would pass. He would go into the top 20. He would pass Marshawn Lynch, Eddie George, Tiki Barber, Thomas Jones, Jamal Lewis, Ricky Waters, Warwick Dunn, LaShawn McCoy, O.J. Simpson, Corey Dillon, and John Riggins to get into the top 20 all-time rushers of all time. So now we're looking at Derrick Henry being from a Pro Bowler to now maybe a potential legendary rusher. Because, dude, he is 2,000 yards away from being in the top 10 and dethroning Tony Dorsett and knocking Tony Dorsett off the top 10 list. You think he can get 2,000 yards the rest of his career? He just turned 30.
I mean, he's still got some
tread on the tires
in him, man.
He is the LeBron James of running backs. Not to jinx the guy, but he's kind of injury proof.
30, but he's found second life.
Yeah. And now you see on 105.3 The Fan, you see Jerry Jones just lose his mind again. And he didn't threaten any jobs, but they asked him several questions. RJ Ochoa pointed this out on Twitter. You can follow him at RJ Ochoa. Says Jerry Jones at 105.3 The Fan on if the Cowboys could become sellers at the trade deadline if things don't turn around. Jerry basically said, hey, look, we signed Dak, we signed CD. That means that we're not sellers. That we're in it to win it, baby. And he goes on to say that they're going to stay the course. That it sends the wrong message if they become sellers.
Look at Turner Analysis comment. Derrick Henry would have made the Dallas offense stronger, but the defense still sucks. This is true.
Well, the problem is this. And Tony, I 100% agree with you on that. The defense does suck.
Who else is going to be blocking for Henry? Would Henry be having the yardage that he has now on this Dallas Cowboy team? Because he ain't got nobody to block for him.
Well, you know how they say that the best offense is a good defense?
Yeah.
Sometimes a good defense is a better offense.
Yeah, Henry got nobody to block it for him.
But, when you have Derrick Henry back out there, CeeDee Lamb is wide open.
You know what he should do? If the Cowboys did get Derrick Henry, they should have still got Zeke, right? so Derrick Henry can hold Zeke up as a shield. It's the only thing he's good for, man. Like Captain America running out there holding up Zeke. Boom.
Joe, you and I have been doing this show for a year. That is the funniest thing you've ever said.
Only
That
thing
is great.
That's the only thing he's good for, man. He can't run.
It's like those war movies or those gangster movies where they pick up a dead body.
That's the only thing Zeke's good for, man.
But, for Jerry Jones to become defensive again, and our good friend RJ Ochoa saying that maybe, just maybe, this is the one thing that Cowboy fans would hold over the head of Jerry Jones is you didn't get Derrick Henry. It's not like Derrick Henry signed for 15 or 20 million. It's the fact that he signed for 8 million. You could have got him for probably 6 or 7, and he lived in Dallas. That makes it even worse. He lives there. He trains and works out there. He even said, I wouldn't mind being a Cowboy. And they didn't kick the tires.
Yeah,
now I'm not to say that he would have gone someplace else, but you know what? You can't win it if you're not in it.
You didn't throw your name in the hat. You didn't even get a scratcher, or you didn't even go and go get like was it the Mega Millions?
Yeah.
At least, I mean, hey, man, I might not win, but
can't win if you don't play.
You don't get a ticket. You don't got a chance. They don't have a chance. But you know what? Jerry didn't even make him an offer. Throw something at him. If he's interested in becoming a Cowboy, which is rumored, he said that he wanted to play for the Cowboys, he probably would have taken it.
And Jerry Jones also got defensive about Amari Cooper because they brought up on 105 through the Fan that the Buffalo Bills got more draft capital for an older Amari Cooper than the Cowboys ever did. You know what Jerry Jones said? Hey, man, well, we got cap space.
Yeah, we did it for cap space. Money.
RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys, goes, he acts like we cannot fact check him.
Yeah,
he goes, they did nothing with that cap space.
Nothing. They didn't go after nobody. They did nothing. You know what is the asinine part to this whole thing? Is that Jerry is that guy. Mm-hmm. He's never going to be wrong. Every decision that he makes is amazing. He's his own biggest fan. Jerry is a typical narcissist.
He is.
And Jerry is a great, and I mean a great, let's say, owner, right, for the Dallas Cowboys. Great owner. Shitty GM, dude. Mm-hmm. He is a horrible GM. If it was anybody else leading that team, they would have been fired long time ago.
So Mario Cavazos a few minutes ago posted on there, just give me Ashton Genty instead, talking about the Boise State running back who is believed to be in the running for the Heisman Trophy. This is a guy that is averaging basically 10 yards per carry, 1,248 yards rushing on 126 carries. He says, go get that guy. Go get me the young legs, right?
You know what?
But remember back in the day, the Cowboys drafted number 3 overall, Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore. But as a Cowboy fan, Joe, let's say that Ashton Genty is available in the draft. He's a junior. He'll probably come out, right? Why not? He's got, if he wins the Heisman Trophy, why not? He's going to be a big name, Joe, because Boise State might actually make the play in the playoffs. When you look at that, Joe, would you be okay with Jerry and Stephen Jones drafting a running back in the first round when that's not what most teams do anymore?
Look at this guy. Thrive eternally. I would love to see you tell Zeke that to his face. Who says I'm afraid of Zeke? I don't give a damn. You want to go? Let's go. I'll tell you to your face too, Thrive eternally. You got a problem? Let's go. I'm backing down from nobody.
That is funny.
Everybody thinks, because I'm sitting here, that I'm scared. I ain't scared, dude. I'll get gangster on your ass. You want to go ahead and talk? I don't talk a lot of shit. I talk with my fists. You want to throw? Let's throw.
Throw hands, baby. Let's hands.
Go.
By the way, right now, according to tankathon.com, the NFL version, we talk about Tankathon all the time on the NBA version. There's an NFL version of Tankathon. They believe that Ashton Genty would go number 15 in the draft, that he is a first-round talent.
Yeah.
They have the Cowboys, unfortunately, drafting at number 16 as of right now. So the Cowboys need to lose to kind of get somebody like that, Joe. Would you rather have them go after an Ashton Genty type running back, Joe, or a Quinn Ewers type of player who's a potential quarterback successor?
You heard the rumors, right, with Quinn?
That he might be out?
He might want to sit because he's getting ready for his NFL debut, for the draft and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Maybe it's just that he had a really bad game that he's feeling sad. He's feeling serio. It might be time for Arch Manning, man. I got to say, man, Archie, He looks a lot better out there than Quinn did, man. Quinn looked like the game was just moving way too fast for him, dude.
Yeah, the problem with it all is, well, what Arch is bringing to the table is
Brother can run.
We're not, that's exactly it. We're not used to a Manning who can run.
Yeah,
we're used to Eli. We're used to Peyton. We're used to Archie. Sit in the pocket, get obliterated, but have a cannon for an arm. Eli Manning had a really good arm. He had a crappy offensive line his entire career,
and he was injured, dude,
because he had a crappy offensive line.
He had a bad neck.
But back in the day, he had some pretty decent receivers out there. I remember when he would throw to Plexico Barres, man, that was good times. But Arch Manning showing what he can do with his feet. It's an interesting dynamic that I had no idea that he brought to the table. No idea that he brought that.
Everybody's they all never saw that side of you, bro. That's the one thing about me, man. I'm cool as hell, but like people want to go ahead and come up to me and start talking trash. If we're in person, that's fine, dude. Talk you trash. I'll let you speak your piece. You put hands on me, we're gonna throw down.
I
don't talk a lot of shit. I'll talk with my hands. I get my ass beat, but now you know I'm not the one to mess with.
Joe lays hands two different ways, man. One in prayer and the other one in fists.
Yeah, man.
So man, this is interesting, man, because right now we're looking at the power rankings right now for the NFL.
Yeah.
Who are we going to go through today, dude? Are we going to go through, do you want to go through NBC Sports? Do you want to go through ESPN, Sports Illustrated, NFL.com? Which one do you want to go through?
Yeah, let's go to NFL.com. I don't think we've gone through them before.
NFL.com. This is Ed Edholm's today's power rankings, which were released 30 minutes ago.
I think I can show your screen now. It's actually working. I found out what the problem was.
What's that?
The power was unplugged, so the little device wasn't working. But you know what? Lo and behold, it's working today.
Dallas Cowboys at number 19, Joe, with a 3-3 record. It says, as the Cowboys prepare to face a desperate 49ers team, it's fair to ask if it's time to hang things up for the Cowboys right now. The run game has been atrocious. The defensive run game has been atrocious. Saying that somehow the Cowboys are 3-0 on the road, but 0-3 at home. They're going to San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have more confidence on them on the road, Joe? Normally on grass, they suck.
Yeah, they do.
But they're 3-0 on the road. They're number 19. Let's go to the top 10. The Niners, by the way, 3-4 record. They are ranked number 16.
Decimated by injury, man.
Yeah, no Deebo Samuel because of an illness. Brandon Ayuk out for the year. Brock Purdy threw a first time ever 3 interceptions in a game.
Oh man,
he's not the same.
Well, he doesn't have the same caliber of talent to throw to right now. He's got some injured players out. The line's not holding up as it used to. He's got a lot of things he's got to work through. It's changing the team itself. And I dare say, do the Cowboys stand a stone's throws chance against the 49ers?
Yeah.
In prime time? Just maybe.
I think they do. Because the Niners suck just as bad. They're really just as bad. two desperate teams, man. One of them's got to win. Yeah. Top 10 in the power rankings. Number 10, the Philadelphia Eagles, because Saquon Barkley went off in the last game. So Saquon Barkley, I find this to be interesting. Did you see the interview? Not the interview, but the conversation he had with the coaching staff? Saquon had 17 carries for 176 yards in the last game. His career high is 189. He was 13 yards away. They had about a quarter to go in the game. The game was already out of hand. And the coaching staff said, Saquon, I don't know if you saw this, Joe. They said, Saquon, you're 13 yards away from your all-time high. Do you want to go in for another series? And Saquon thought about it for a while and goes, nah, man. Let the young guys eat.
That's a good veteran move right there. Because you know what? What if you come in and you get injured, bro?
Yeah.
No, sit down. Sit down, King.
And the way he phrased it, let the young guys eat.
Yeah,
give him the fourth quarter. He could have gone in there, had a 200-yard game, first time in his career. Saquon Barkley passing the torch for the game. Jalen Hurts finally looking better, or is it possible that the Eagles are just beating crappy teams? We shall see. But 4-2 is 4-2, right?
Yeah.
Steelers at 5-2. They still don't have a quarterback. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Russell Wilson had a couple of good passes and had some atrocious passes where it wasn't even close. Like, I could have gotten the ball closer to some of these players.
Yeah.
And I suck at throwing the ball. Russell Wilson is trash. That's going to be the downfall for them. But it kind of just shows that Mike Tomlin's a hell of a coach.
He's a good coach, man. There's no doubt in that.
Number 8, the Houston Texans, after losing to Green Bay. CJ Stroud had a tough day, man. He got beaten around, man. They brought the rush on CJ.
They were there, though, till the very
end,
man. They let this one get away from it. It was an ugly game, but you know what? This is the Texan style of football, right? It's kind of grinded out.
Yeah.
Ugly games, and they still find ways to win, except not this one.
Jaden Daniels, the week to week, the rib injury.
Oh, man. I don't know if you've ever had bruised ribs.
Yeah.
It's painful, man. You can't even breathe, bro. You can't even lay down right.
When he got hit, and then he goes out to the sideline, he threw his helmet down in disgust because he knew I'm not coming back in.
Yeah, dude.
The announcers were like, well, he's questionable to return. No, he wasn't.
He knew he was done.
When you throw your helmet down like that, you're done. But you had Marcus Mariota go over there and calm the storm. This was going to be a big game, Joe, because the Commanders have the Bears next. Both teams with winning records. It was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick against the number 2 overall pick. Caleb Williams against Jaden Daniels. Daniels probably going to miss this next game, though. But the Commanders at 5-2, moving up in the NFL.com's power rankings, number 7. Number 6, the Green Bay Packers, also at 5-2, coming off a 24-22 victory over the Houston Texans. They've lost to good teams. The 2 teams they've lost to have been the Eagles and the Vikings. So they mop up the teams that they should be beating. They beat a good team in the Texans.
Yeah.
But now things get cold in Green Bay, right? That's where they get that home field advantage there at Lambeau.
Frozen tundra, man.
Number 5, the Buffalo Bills, getting a touchdown reception from Amari Cooper was big. They have a wide receiver 1. We mentioned Josh Allen, 0 interceptions on the year. He does have 4 fumbles, right? But he didn't lose all 4. But he has 12 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. This was a guy that was the Caitlin Clark of the NFL quarterback play. Always getting a lot of great flashy plays, but a lot of turnovers. Not anymore.
Yeah, maybe, he's kind of cleaned that aspect of his game up. It happens as you get older. Maybe he's seeing things a little different now.
Number 4, the Minnesota Vikings dropping from 1 to 4 after losing 31-29 to the Detroit Lions. They were in that game, man. That was 2 heavyweights going at each other. I thought the Lions were the better team. The Lions go into Minnesota to get the win.
Yeah.
Right now, the NFC goes through Detroit at number 3. They have the Lions at 5-1. Just that team. Jared Goff ain't sexy.
Man.
You know what's sexy? His wife. Okay, his wife is the hottest wife in all of football.
He's got a lot of kids.
Personal opinion, dude. Personal opinion. I love his wife, right?
Yeah.
But there's just something that's calming about Jared Goff.
Oh man, he's like, he's a lot like this, man. When everything gets heated, you have really high stress, right, out there on the field. He's just calm, dude. He always just looks like he's just calm, collective. He doesn't overreact, doesn't get shaken. He's just money, dude. And that's what you want. You want a leader out there that doesn't get rattled, dude. Mm-hmm. He's just calm, leads the team, does what he has to do to win. He's
a better Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he's a better Primo. Yeah, I'd have to say that. I call Cousins Primo because that's
Cousins. Yeah. I got you. I know enough Spanish. This no Sabo kid knows. But man, that lineup there for the Lions there with back to back, like a 2-headed monster at running back with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery and Sam Laporta at tight end, and you have a legit wide receiver 1 with Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's a good team, dude. It's a good team.
Hey, so I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You said you're going to do the taste test of the Diet Dr. B. I seen you sipping on it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's all right.
Come on.
It's not bad.
Man.
Not bad, but it's all right. It's all right. Number 2, according to the NFL.com power rankings, got the Baltimore Ravens at 5-2. And talking about how they went into Tampa Bay and beat that ass over there. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry just rushing like crazy over there. Fantastic. Number 1, you got to say the Ravens, right? No, got to go with the Chiefs. Chiefs are undefeated at 6-0. Until they lose, right? Until they lose. Joe, let's say that it's the AFC Championship game, and you've got the Ravens and Chiefs. You say, Michael, we're gonna bet $100 on this, and you get to pick which team you want.
Yeah.
Which team do you want?
Oh, I got no doubt. I'd be confident in picking the Chiefs to win.
I
I said,
it.
you better give
I
me my
hate it.
give me
I
my
hate
100.
it. I
Give me
hate
my money right now.
I want it in 520s. Or I want 420s and 4.5s.
Yeah.
Give me my $100. But those are the NFL power rankings. So we had somebody ask the question. They're making jokes about me on here, saying that I played fullback for the Holmes Huskies back in the day. I didn't play football, right? But
You were the mascot.
they called me Moosey, right?
Moosey.
That because I reminded people of Daryl Johnson. Hey,
God.
tall tale time, Joe. I met Daryl Johnson years ago, and he gave me a big old high five. Why, Joe? I played a media flag football game. He was the coach of my team, and I had a pick six from the end zone all the way to the house for a touchdown, Joe.
You had a pick six?
It was more of a thick, no, I was skinny back then. It wasn't a thick six. I had a pick six. Now, they didn't play, we played at the Alamo Dome, and they made it a 50-yard field, right?
Wait. You played football on a football team?
This was a flag football team.
Oh, okay.
It was a flag football team where it was all members of the media.
Yeah, okay.
And they have this over at Cowboys training camp, and I was invited to play, and it was kind of like, I'll pick you. It was kind of like pick up basketball.
Okay.
Pick you. One of the coaches was Daryl Johnston, Moose, right? They had me play defense. So I'm there playing, and there's this one guy who was getting all these receptions. It was a young, fast guy. And I got pissed, and I'm like, I'm going to take this guy. I was probably 25 years old, right? Early 20s. So I was young enough, right?
25-ish.
Yeah, maybe 23. And I'm there off to the side. I was like, I got this guy. I'm gonna play him. I'm gonna play corner on this guy. They threw a pass into the end zone for him. I don't know if he tripped or what, but he fell. I caught it. Joe, I took it to the house, and KBB played it because I was a reporter at KBB at the time. I took it to the house. 50 yards. It was a 50-yard field. Took it.
Sean Quintero, who called you Moosey? Moose Knuckle.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's give some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5, because today is the start of the NBA regular season.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at JeffG10s5SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at JeffGSpursZone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow, not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
You got two games on the NBA docket today. It starts with the Knicks and the Celtics. Going to be a 6:30 tip-off on TNT. And then also the late game on TNT, you've got from the Crypto Arena, the T-Wolves against the Lakers.
You're going to see Bronny and LeBron play at the same time, probably early in the first, I would say. They get it out of the way.
Is Bronny on the roster?
He's on the roster, dude. They're going to do that, man. They've been talking about it all this morning, dude, that they're going to have them come out on the court together to make NBA history.
Oh, nepotism at its finest, man. It's not what you know, it's who you know sometimes. The Spurs start their season on Thursday night, so we got to wait till day 3. Spurs take on the Dallas Mavericks on TNT, by the way. So this is going to be a nationally televised game from the American Airlines Center in Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks favored by 7.5 points. We're going to see the first time Chris Paul in a Spurs jersey for a real game. Harrison Barnes for a real game. Do we know what the starting lineup is already?
Yeah, you probably do.
No Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell's out with a foot injury. His right foot did not heal.
They're going to put in Champagnie?
Could be. I mean, he's earned it over the offseason. So let's just see if he can do things during the regular season. We mentioned Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. I subscribe on Spotify. I subscribe on YouTube as well. You go to Jeff for that daily content when it comes to the Spurs, because he has a daily podcast called Locked On Spurs. I'm oftentimes on it, along with Joe. You're oftentimes on it as well. Some stories from today that we're talking about involve Shaq still being pissed off about the Spurs, being pissed off about Wemby, saying that Wemby is not elite. We're going to have conversations about that on there. You can go to kens5.com and learn more about it. Some promotional videos and whatnot involving Victor Wembanyama. Uh, talked about how Spurs players were at the Formula One event in Austin. Again, because the Spurs not only represent San Antonio, we apparently also represent the city of Austin as well. They're going to have those 2 games later on in the season. So again, go to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter. If you call it the X, that's fine. Or you can go check him out on Threads as well. Joe, someone asked the question earlier, do I like the NFL more or the NBA? And the answer is I love both. They're both my babies. I love college football. They're all 3 of my babies. Those are the 3 horsemen that I like right there, dude. College football, NBA, NFL. I love college basketball, and I'm big into horse racing, but no one else wants to talk about that with
ponies.
Me.
Yeah, I
Ponies.
like betting on the horses, and I got a story for you, but I'm going to address this comment here. Joe Gonzalez says, Joe, are the Spurs games still on Bally's or Prime? They're not on Prime until next year, but right now you can watch the games on, now it's not Bally's, it's FanDuel. So I just saw my Bally's app switched to FanDuel now. So now it's FanDuel. You'll be able to watch your regional sports coverage there, including the Spurs on FanDuel. I believe they're going to keep the pricing the same, around $20. So yeah, you can still watch the Spurs there. But the ponies, man. I remember one time I took my little cousin Melissa with me. I was there with the whole family. And my cousin Melissa, she was probably like 14, 15 years old at the time. And everybody was pairing up. You know, you're getting your partner there so you can bet on the ponies. And I was like, I'll take my little cousin Melissa.
Yeah.
So I tell him, we call her Missy, right? And I say, all right, Missy, we're going to bet on these horses, man. Which ones are we taking? And she's like, didn't even look at the sheets, right? You're looking at the horses' names and all that. She's like, I like the spotted pony. I like the silver pony. Look at the way he walks. He's proud and this and that. So I'm like, F it, dude. We're just going to bet whatever this kid wants to bet on, right? I went with my cousin Missy. We go up there and we place our bets and everything. This girl was a freaking ringer, dude. She picked nothing but winners, dude. And I told her in the beginning, I said, if we win, I'll give you half, because this is, you know, a team effort, right? So in fact, I gave her half. I still had like maybe $150 worth of drinking money. She got like 152. We made like 3 bills that day on the ponies, dude. It was crazy. She picked nothing but winners, man. All the ones that you thought would have won, they didn't win a damn thing, dude.
That's funny, man. You know, and sometimes you have to read the Daily Basin forum and study it. Yeah. Other times it's just pick a horse.
That's what she did. She said,
I like the name. I one time bet on a horse at Retama Park called Down Syndrome Awareness.
Yeah.
Which was because my stepson has Down syndrome. My son has Downs. And that son of a bitch won, dude. That son of a bitch won. Man. I have a tall tale when it comes to horse racing, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, this is not a tall tale in the sense that I had 2 horses over at Retama Park back in the day. Back in about 15 years ago, I had a 50% stake in one and a 25% stake in another. 50% stake in a horse called Shadow Master and a 25% stake in a horse called Canal. And they did well enough to like pay their own bills. But ultimately I sold them after 1 season. But it was good times. It was good times. But my tall tale, it's not a tall tale. This really happened. I was in Jamaica, Queens in New York, man, land of Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Cans 5. My former father-in-law, who may he rest in peace, he's passed away a handful of years ago, Army veteran, and he loved playing the ponies. And when I met him and I was dating his daughter, who's Gabby's mom, we bonded over horse racing. And there was one day that we went to New York State. We went to New York City, and we decided that we were going to go horse racing. We went to Aqueduct, which is one of the bigger venues out there for horse racing, and it's in Jamaica, Queens, and had a great time over there until these 3 guys started getting racial with us behind us, throwing racial slurs at me, at my father-in-law. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, my father-in-law was 30 years in the Army, and you're going to do that to him, right?
Yeah.
And they were being complete racists, and they were talking trash and doing Asian slurs and Hispanic slurs and all that stuff. Well, my favorite horse racing jockey is named John Velasquez. And John Velasquez is a Hall of Fame jockey. And when it comes to horse racing, sometimes you just got to go all in, man. Jerry Jones style, got to go all in, right? This horse was going off Money line was the morning line was 3-1.
Yeah.
It was going off at 12-1 odds. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it going off at 12-1 odds? John Velasquez is on there. John Velasquez has gone and won the Preakness, and he's won the Belmont, and he's won the Kentucky Derby. Anyway, I told my father-in-law at the time, I was like, we're all in. Dude, we bet all our money on this horse just to win, like a win play show on it. Dude, Velasquez won by like 20 lengths. Like, but they were turning the corner, down the stretch last furlong. I was like, he ain't gonna get caught. I mean, the horse could turn around and walk backwards and win. We won at 12-1 odds. We probably made I probably bet like $150. I probably walked out with over $1,000, right? Because I bet some win, someplace, some show.
Yeah.
And those guys that were behind us that were doing racial shit were throwing their tickets down, all mad, all that stuff. I remember looking back at that asshole and going, always bet on the effing Latino.
Oh, God, dude. That's a tall tale, man. And look at this. Mike bet on a horse called Tall Tale.
I would. I would. By the way, FanDuel is reporting right now that 20% of the money that they're getting in right now on bets for Rookie of the Year is being bet on Bronny James.
Jeez.
Bronny James sucks. 20% of the money being done is going to Bronny James. Right now, the favorite to win is Zach Edey, followed by Reed Shepherd. Not even the number one pick, dude. Not the number one pick. Just Zach Edey, who was what, the number 9 pick in the draft, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Dude, give me some Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect, man, that might be the winner when it's all said and done. According to FanDuel.com and ESPN Bet, the favorite to win the MVP in the upcoming NBA season is Luka Doncic at plus 375.
Yeah.
So basically almost 4-1 odds. Zach Edey is plus 275 to win Rookie of the Year. Victor Wembanyama is by far the favorite at minus 160 to win Defensive Player of the Year, but that's not the bet. The bet is to bet on Wemby to win Most Improved Player. 7.5-1 odds, and that's the favorite, Joe. 7.5-1 odds.
Yeah,
that's tasty.
That is, man.
You don't need to have a winning record to win that award. Not at all. If they were going to give an award, Joe, to the best concrete in the business, you're wearing it on your head right there. It's MCS General Contracting. Let's give Chris Leha and his brother some love.
Hold on, I gotta find it here first. Can't find the thing. Here it is. No, it's not working.
All right. Well, JJ. Okay.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs. MCS General Contracting. More than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show. All right, there you go. If you want to go ahead and get that diamond hard concrete in your life, you're going to go ahead and give our boy a call over here at MCS General Contracting. Call Chris Leha, give you your free consultation. Numbers on the screen. Call 210-774-9155. And he can go ahead and do anything for you when it comes to concrete. He can go ahead and put a landing like he did for Mike. Parking lot if you own a business. Maybe make you a little slab out in the backyard if you want to build a pergola for mama. Do anything. Go ahead and call MCS General Contracting if you want it done right the first time. Again, the number is 210-774-9155.
So we talked about the regular season starting, right? Tomorrow, the Philadelphia 76ers take the court, but they'll be taking the court without Joel Embiid and without Paul George, both out with injury. So it begins, Joe. It begins. Paul George, the big get they got in the offseason, not going to be in there. Jeff Garcia just posted right now that the Spurs, remember, they had Brandon Boston Jr. on the practice squad, the summer camp earlier this year. He has signed a 2 way deal with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Well, look at that. We got Tony Ornelas saying possibly might need concrete for a basketball goal for his backyard.
There you go.
Hey, man, call Chris Leha. He'll get you taken care of. And you know what? He'll do it right. I guarantee you, 10 years from now, that concrete will still be there with hardly a crack in it, dude.
Take a look at Shams Charania. It's weird to see Shams now with ESPN.
Yeah, man.
Oh, what do we call him? I mean, Woj has retired.
Yeah, Woj.
He's now with St. Bonaventure.
Got to give Shams a nickname now.
Shams Charania, breaking news for overnight. The Denver Nuggets and Aaron Gordon agreed to a 4-year, $133 million extension.
He took a pay cut, man.
I mean, 130, that's like $33 million a year, man.
Yeah. Well, he was up for about, I think, 150.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the Nuggets wanted to kind of negotiate with him for a lesser deal. Still, I guess they found a healthy median in between the two. Yeah.
Jalen Johnson agreed to a 5-year, $150 million rookie extension with the Hawks. That's according to Shams Charania of ESPN, no longer of The Athletic. Mavericks agreed with Jaden Hardy to a 3-year, $18 million rookie extension. So these rookies are getting some deals, man, before the season starts. Jalen Suggs. I like Jalen Suggs, man. What a great defensive player. All-NBA defensive member. 5-year, $150 million extension. Dude, Spurs fans are going to flip out when Wemby is going to be offered $75 million. That's going to be the number, right? It's going to be like 4 years, $300 million.
I predict that this is what's going to happen with Wemby. If the Spurs want to keep him, Wemby will be the highest paid player in the NBA.
All time.
This could be quite possibly the most lucrative contract in sports history, man.
All time.
It's going to be up there, dude.
All time.
They want him. They got to go ahead and pay him. But you know what? He ain't going to stay here unless you surround him with some bucket getters, because this team ain't it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs fan right now, we talked about it yesterday, and I put the clip out there. We talked about it for about maybe 30 minutes or so. Spurs fan is okay with mediocrity this season.
Yeah,
They're
we talked about that yesterday with the Twitter poll that we had.
Yeah,
dude, I was
they're fine with
surprised.
it.
I was surprised with the number of people who responded to this, because we had 259 people vote saying that if the Spurs have a 6th losing season in a row, they'd still want Pop as the coach.
Yeah, and Spurs fan told me yesterday that they're okay with this team getting anywhere between 35, maybe 38 wins, not playing for anything other than just you got better, but you didn't make the play-in.
Yeah,
didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, about 59% saying, yeah, we're fine with 30 to 35 wins. 25% saying that they want the Spurs to at least be 500 or better, and 16% saying, no, man, you got to make the play-in or better.
Yeah.
So that's about 6 out of 10 Spurs fans are like, it's okay for us to suck this year.
Yeah, they want to go out there and support mediocrity.
Brutal, man.
I'm going to be out there and I'm going to watch the games only because, I want to see the team get better. Yeah, but I mean, getting better doesn't always translate into them getting to the play-in. Doesn't translate into them getting to the playoffs. Not with this current cast of characters they got.
Right.
They're good enough to be all right. Maybe compete a little bit better, and that's what you want to see them gradually getting better. But at the end of the day, you want to keep Wemby happy on this team. You got to surround him with a better cast of character, better caliber of player, because this team right now, they just have a bunch of guys,
dude. And I'm so tired.
Just a bunch of guys.
I'm so tired of Spur fans and apologists who are like, it's not Pop's fault. Pop didn't put these team together. Yes, he did. You're telling me that Pop has no say in the player development, the player gathering of this team? That's stupid. If you believe that everybody does their job individually and it's not a group project over there, if you believe that Pop has no say as to what free agents come in, who they draft, or anybody free agents that they do, you're dumb. You're dumb. So if you're going to complain about the roster, you're complaining about Pop, because Pop is part of that. That Pop is part of it. Brian Wright doesn't do things by himself. You have R.C. Buford is still in the room, for crying out loud. We call it Pop in the front office for a reason. It's a group thing. What did Matt Lerma say right there? Mike, maybe you shouldn't have made the poll because a lot of people just like to troll you. I don't mind being trolled.
Yeah, he's talking about the trolls out there on the X, on social media.
I think a lot of people came to my defense.
It's a safe place. I mean, when we talk Spurs, and we're going to have call-in Fridays, it's a safe place. You all can call in, speak your piece, say what you want. We're not going to come down on you, make fun of you for being brave enough to come up and give us your opinion. That's what this whole community is being built for.
Right.
For everybody to give their opinion, and it's unbiased. It's an unbiased opinion. Mike's not going to be out here making fun of you, and I'm not going to be making fun of you for it.
Do you know how many times I'm right? It's just people don't want to hear it. Like Team Tank. How many people gave me crap, Joe, for the longest time about Team Tank? And the second the Spurs got the number 1 overall pick, and I was over at the Roo Pub with the San Antonio Sports Star people, and we won the lottery. People were the same people who were Team We Hoopin', Team Play-In, all that stuff, suddenly were like, I'm so glad we lost all those games. So I get roasted for like 8 months and then get applauded for about 3 minutes, and then it goes on to the next topic. The same thing is going to happen with Pop. Dude, I've been calling for Pop to be gone for long. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it today. I'll wait for the Spurs to start 3-9 to get into it. But like, I've been on that train for the longest time, and I'm right, Joe. It's not popular. Do I want Pop to be fired? No, because I wanted him to simply walk away.
You want him to be fired.
I want him to wake up. I want to wake up one day to breaking news coming into ESPN. The winningest coach in NBA history, Gregg Popovich, has decided to hang him up, and he is hanging up his whistle. The coach, one of the greats of all time, who's also an Olympic gold medalist as a coach, has decided to retire before the start of the NBA season. Mitch Johnson is taking over as the head coach. I want to wake up to that. What I want to wake up to is Spurs general manager Brian Wright did the unthinkable. He fired Gregg Popovich. No, Joe, you and I,
it's funny. The biggest smile on your face. You'd be walking in like Stephen A. after.
I don't want him to be Landry. Dude.
How you doing?
I don't want him to be Landry. But Joe, we talked about this off air a while back. We were like, what do we say? He's the party guest that never left.
Oh, he's the house guest that never left. You got to tell him, hey man, you got to go.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl party where the game ended at 9. Everyone's partying till midnight. A few people stay till midnight, till 2, and it's 3:30 in the morning, and there's some guys that are still there hanging out, smoking pot, doing nothing, drinking wine. That's Pop right now.
You know what? This is funny. Tony Ornelas might give me diamond hard concrete evidence that Pop controls the Spurs 100%.
I didn't say control. I didn't say control.
And free agency.
I didn't say control. I'm saying is that would be disrespectful of the Spurs to not give Pop any control of that.
But I do like that with that whole thing that Tony Ornelas had there. It reminds me of something. We should have a diamond hard segment just for MCS General Contracting. This Diamond Hard segment is brought to you by MCS.
Matt Lerma. Yeah, Mike is like, you're dumb. Why won't people listen to me? So, I mean, the thing about it is that in the NFL has a really direct line of sight between it all, right? I mean, unless you're Bill Belichick or Sean Payton, and you control both. Like, I personally believe that Mike McCarthy has very little opinion as to what Steven and Jerry Jones do.
Oh, he's got none. He's just out there coaching.
Football's different, man. Baseball is different. The NBA, there's only 12 players on an active roster. There's only 15 on a team. It's more intimate. It's a different dynamic because there's not a 53-man roster when it comes to football or a 25-man roster when it comes to baseball. It's different, and that makes coaching different. You could fit all of the players on one bus and all the coaches on one bus, right? You don't need to have a convoy of buses like they do at the NFL, right? It's different, man, and it's a different relationship between the GM, the head coach, player personnel, player development, shooting coaches, and all that stuff. It's different. Pop most definitely has say in those aspects.
Tim Gonzalez says he tagged us in a post that he wants us to go ahead and show here. And he just wanted to let us know. And I saw this, you think it was late yesterday on the X. the Ravens fan who assaulted those two Commanders fans for no reason.
Oh
He
yeah.
turned himself in. He'd been arrested, and if he's convicted, he could be looking at some prison time, man.
Oh, I mean, the guy was just hunting. He was headhunting. And you know what's so funny? It's not funny. It's about guys like that. Do you think he was stepping up to people who were his size?
Oh no, dude.
Do you think that there was a big black dude wearing a Redskins jersey that he looked at and was like, I ain't gonna mess with him. Oh, but the scrawny white guy over here.
Two of them, yeah. Let me go ahead and beat them up for no reason at all.
Yeah,
just because they're walking down the street. And you know what? I saw that too on the weekend when I was out there with the family, walking up and down downtown. It was a 49er fan there, Cool, man. Good for you being a 49ers fan. Cowboys fans out there too, wearing their Cowboys gear and whatnot. Just walking around, having a good time.
Mhm.
This guy was obnoxious, dude. He walked right in front of me, and I was just looking at him. You could tell he was already drunk, and he just says real loud, nobody's even telling him or saying anything to him, unprovoked, F the Cowboys, this and that. And I'm just like, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? Like, you're just obnoxious, right? And he's walking down the street, and he's looking at the people that are next to him, right? And he sees a guy sitting down on the bench, and the guy's just waiting for the bus wearing a Cowboys hat, and he's like, F the Cowboys. F the
I
Cowboys.
don't know
I'm
if I
like,
would. I don't
dude.
know if I would go that far. I mean, I've gone to opposing cities. Like I wore my Spurs jersey in Houston.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are like, oh, Michael's gonna turn into a Rockets fan. No, I wore a Spurs jersey into the Toyota Center, right? So no, I want to go there and I want to cheer my team on. But I would never get into a fight with somebody at a game. Why?
Nah.
Over sports? That's stupid.
Yeah, but this guy, you could tell he's just looking for trouble. He wanted somebody to start something with him or just mouth back and forth. He's just being an obnoxious douchebag, dude. And I'm just like, I was so close to wanting to tell this brother something, but I'm like, and my wife is just looking at me. I'm just like, all right, I'm not going to say nothing, keeping my mouth shut because I got my kids and everybody near me. But if I was by myself, I'd be like, you know what, dude, F you. You got something to say? Say it with your chest out.
Joe, let's go away from sports for a moment. Did you know that early voting started last night or yesterday morning, rather?
I did, man.
And San Antonio, Bexar County, had its biggest day of early voting ever. More than 46,000 votes cast on the first day of early voting, according to KSAT.com. And here are according to KSAT, the busiest locations to cast a vote. Yesterday, 1,999 people casted a vote over at Northwest Vista College, which is where I vote early.
Yeah, no, I go around the corner, man. I've got a little elementary school right here where my kids went to school.
Oh, really?
I just go around the corner. I'm not going to say what it is because that's my secret spot that I go to. There's never a line, dude. I go in the morning before, doing the show or what have you. I go in there, in and out in like 5-10 minutes, dude.
A lot of libraries are allowing early voting. Northwest Vista College had 2,000 votes almost. Encino Branch had 1,800. Brook Hollow Branch, so these are all north side places, 1,700 votes. Cody Branch had 1,600. Igo Branch, the least busy polling locations. The Frank Garrett Multi-Service Center, the Macedonia Baptist Church, A&M San Antonio, St. Hedwig City Hall, and Palo Alto College.
Yeah. Over at UTSA, they have early voting going on for the students as well.
Yeah.
My daughter's going, and I forgot to text her this morning. I'm going to tell her, hey, if you want to go ahead and get your early voting in, you can go ahead and do that now.
Tony Analysis is predicting that you go to Meadow Village Elementary.
No.
Did he get it right?
No.
Would you say if it was?
No. I give you all something totally different, dude, because I got my little spot already picked out just around the corner from me, man. I go down there. Like I said, always, even on election day, you can go in there, and man, there's never a line, dude, until the afternoon. Of course, a line will start forming. But during the morning, there ain't nobody there, dude. Nobody.
So it's funny because the election is not going to be for another 2 weeks, right? It's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today.
And you take a look at all the different states. And I had a conversation with my sister, Cindy, about this a while back. The cluster F, that is the presidential election, is the fact that it's not a single election. It is 50 states who run their elections all differently. There's no uniformity to it all. There's some states like the state of Utah that's completely 100% done by mail-in votes. There's some that do in-person, like Texas, in-person early voting. There's others who say you can have your ballots in a week before the election. Others say that you can get the ballot in as long as it's postmarked on the day of the election, which is what happened when they were trying to count the razor thin margins in Arizona last time.
Yeah.
It's different. And
it is.
I'm looking at Pennsylvania right now. This is a Vote Hub US on Twitter. It's very interesting. They say that right now in Pennsylvania, 1,051,000 people have already cast a ballot.
I believe it, man.
And of the 1 million, again, Democrats, it used to be Republicans used to do the mail-in votes. Now they do day of voting. Democrats do the early voting. And as of right now in Pennsylvania, the belief is that if the Democrats have any chance, they need to have a firewall of about 500,000 votes, which is have a $500 vote lead going into the election day.
Yeah.
Right now, 650,000 Democrats have voted, 300,000 Republicans. So it's a firewall of about 350. But when it comes to the independent vote, 100,000 have voted, and it's predicted that about 2/3 of that vote Democrat.
Yeah.
So really, the firewall there is about 375,000, 380,000. Pennsylvania with 1 million votes there. Georgia, Joe, in Georgia, record numbers right now. 1.7 million people have voted already. 55.3% of those voting in Georgia already, of that 1.7 million, women.
Yeah, look at that. Sam Salinas brings up a good point. I got the notification too through my employer because I'm working for the feds right now. They sent us an email as well, and he says, check with your employers, boys. Most places give you PTO to vote. Yeah, and that's what they do here at work as well. They give you, I think it's up to 4 hours, bro. If you want to go ahead and vote, they'll give you up to 4 hours to go to a polling location and vote, and then come back to work if you want. Or you can take like half the day off, And I don't need that because, like I said, I got my spot right around the corner where I go.
I'm going to go vote after this show today. By the way, what I did today, I went to the low T center today.
Did you get a shot?
Yeah, they checked it out. They're like, yeah, testosterone's fine.
They said you're fine?
Yeah, they said that I'm fine. The good thing was that my blood pressure was at 128/78, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad. I've lost 25 pounds. They did the blood work. They're like, everything seems to be fine. They said that I could get an enhancement if I wanted to get more testosterone. But they're saying that you are not considered to be technically low T.
Yeah. Man, they give you that in your boner pills, bro. You'd be good. You have that diamond hard in your life,
Yeah. Baby. This plow-in is sponsored by MCS General Contracting.
Blue Chew. Hey, but I'm going to share this with you guys right now. So if y'all want to go ahead and get some stickers, as I said, they're going to be about $3 each because we're going to have to include the shipping there with the sticker. So if you want Area 210 or you want the Alamo City Sportscast stickers, you just let us know. And I'm going to go ahead and put the information here in the chat with you guys. But here's the Alamo City Sportscast sticker there. And again, here's the Area 210. So if you want the Area 210, just let us know when you go ahead and email us. And we'll go ahead and send you the payment options there. But I'll go ahead and share this with you boys in the chat. So there you go. AlamoCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Joe, no one's going to know who's going to win the election until Thanksgiving. It's going to be one of those things, dude.
Think so?
It's going to be one of those things.
They'll know, dude. They'll know. You can really tell. I mean, usually they announce the winner the midnight or something like that.
Well, the problem with the polls right now is that the polls are partisan.
Yeah.
It used to be, okay, New York Times, Siena, ABC, Fox, CNN, Monmouth. They would go in there and they would monitor the polls. 2/3 of the polls that have come out in the last month have all been rigged. They've been all partisan polls. They've been either a Republican poll or a Democratic poll, which are skewed in different directions.
Yeah.
None of it's accurate, dude. If you want to go for a good polling service, Monmouth does a good polling service. New York Times Siena does a pretty good job. Fox News does a really good job as well. Those are the only ones I look at. Like right now, I'm looking at polls right now. Redfield's a British company. Like like a British company knows how to do this, right? They're rated D when it comes to polling. But Monmouth is one that's good. I haven't seen a good Monmouth poll. Let me see. Let me get on their website real fast. Anyway, again, early voting started yesterday. And go vote. Vote your conscience, man. Do what you do. Joe, were you surprised that new Joker movie sucked ass?
No, because I ain't seen it. I don't plan to, man. You know, when they got Lady Gaga in there, it was not going to be a movie per se. It's more of a, what do they call it? They call it more of a musical.
Yeah.
You know, and I got no interest in watching it. It's so bad. It's already going straight to digital. So you're going to be able to watch it at home. It didn't really do all that well. It had like an 80% decline in its second week. It's in its second opening week. So this movie's tanking hard, dude. But you know, one movie, though, that I hear is going to be the movie of the year with the early, let's say, reviews that are in, is going to be that Gladiator 2 movie. I've been hearing nothing but good things about that. And they were saying that
Denzel Washington, baby.
Denzel Washington, they said, gave a really good performance in that film. And they expect him to be nominated for several awards, you know? So everybody's been saying, the ones that got to see it early, they said that so far it's the best movie of the year, and it's quite possibly one of the best movies of all time. I don't know about that, but I'm going to go and see it nonetheless.
Beetlejuice.
It's all right.
Sucked.
All right.
And it's the first time that I'd seen a Michael Keaton movie where problem with Beetlejuice, the second one, where was Michael Keaton? Like, it's called Beetlejuice. Maybe show him.
They did show him
for like 3 minutes. Yeah,
he was
dude. Did Michael Keaton only have 2 days to film? Why was he only on there for like 3 minutes?
He was there, dude.
Not as much as I wanted.
You know what else has been going up here recently, and I've been seeing this all over the place. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience.
Happened again.
No, I was trying to go and move to another scene. There we go. Now we can show it. No, let me see. There it is. Now I got on my screen. So this one thing that I've been seeing, the rent is actually going up across town. So people going to look for either, you know, when it comes to homes, rent a home, buy a home. It's going up again, man. So got to be ready for that. And it says San Antonio rents surging 26% over the first 9 months in 2024, the study finds. So it's something that a lot of my friends have been telling me as well. People that I know that rent homes, they're like, dude, trying to go ahead and find a home for rent, you know, the rent that I was paying like maybe 6 months or so ago, it's gone up again.
Yeah, that happened to my daughter. My daughter has an apartment in Baton Rouge. Went through the roof, man. And it's not even a subtle change. It's not 5% or 10%. What percentage did they say this was? Like 25% or so, Joe?
That says it went up 26%, the rent, man.
That's brutal, dude. You know, right now I'm going through a divorce and division of assets and stuff like that. One thing I got to figure out is, what am I gonna do with my house? You know, do I keep it? Do I sell it? You know, what do I do with it? Because if rent is going to be that much, I might want to rent it out. I'm looking at the Zestimates on Zillow.
Zestimates
on my house, saying that I could rent my house for $2,600 a month.
Damn.
Because I have a 2% interest rate, 2.5%, 2.65. I only pay like $2,000. I mean, I wouldn't mind profiting $600 a month.
JHNSB. I think Joe is voting Trump and Mike is voting Kamala.
I ain't voting Ted Cruz though. Ted Cruz is.
I'm not trying to sway anybody's vote either way. The important thing is just make sure.
What do you want for president? But can we all agree that Ted Cruz is a piece of shit?
Yeah, dude.
There you go.
Something else, man. But just make sure you go and vote, man. Everybody go and make sure you vote. You go vote early or vote on election day, but make sure you go out and vote.
Ted Cruz looks like he belongs with the Munsters.
Ted Cruz, bro. And the stupid was a smear campaign that he has going on with that old boy. I forgot his name. The guy he's running against. They're just
Colin
going,
Allred.
they're just going back and forth. I'm just like,
Yeah, Colin
dude.
Allred claiming that Ted Cruz was hiding in a broom closet when the January 6th insurrection happened.
Crazy.
No, he was in Cancun.
Yeah.
He was in Cancun. Locked on Spurs, Jeff Garcia saying to watch the Penguin series. Insanely good.
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Now, would I
I'm
like
telling
it?
you. Oh, no, you would love it. Like, you don't even have to know the universe itself.
Is it a Batman-related Penguin?
It's Batman-related Penguin, but it's not the
I
penguin.
like Batman.
It's not the Penguin that you're thinking of, you know, the little tiny one that
That
Danny DeVito
was. Yeah.
No, it's totally different. If you like The Sopranos, you're gonna like this series.
Ah.
It's really good, dude. Like, you don't have to have no knowledge of what's happening. Just go watch it, and you're gonna like it, man. It's on the HBO Max or the Max right now. Really good. And if everybody's looking for a way to see the Spurs game, you know, as them opening up the season, you can go ahead and check it out on the Max. If you have a subscription to the Max, you're going to be able to watch the games that are televised on TNT on the Max. They play them there for free for you guys in real time, so you can check that out. If you don't have any other means, you don't got to go to Stream East.
Yeah.
If you already have the Max, you can watch the game there for free.
Fellas, Tony, Matt, Jesse A, Midtown, all you guys, you'll want to get together at the Rock to go watch the game on Wednesday. That'd be fun. Opening night against the Dallas Mavericks. That's not Wednesday. That's Thursday night. I wouldn't mind doing that, man.
And the Rock is actually going to have a get-together, man, on the 26th. The Spurs are doing something out there at the Rock. They're going to have like an 80s-inspired night. I'm going to go with my boy, man. One of my best friends. We're going to hang out there. It's going to be a night where they're going to have, like, I believe, a Journey cover band that one of my friends, he knows. Well, I think it's either the lead singer or one of the musicians there on the band. But we're going to go and check them out. They're going to have a lot of, you know, things to do over there too. So seems like a fun night outing if you're of a certain age or you just like retro music. Go check it out, man.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, it is 11:20, Joe. I think I'm going to call it an early show. What do you think, man?
Yeah, we go ahead and do that.
Everyone, again, go get your vote in. Early voting has started. You can go to mysa.com or ksat12.com and check out all the various polling locations. Again, the Northwest Vista College was the one that had the most number of people, but I'm sure you can get in and out in a couple of minutes. No big deal. I mean, 2,000 votes over a 10-hour period, that's 200 people. You know, it's probably a 10-minute wait.
Yeah, and one of our friends here at the show has some information for us here. He's letting us know, Tim Gonzalez. He says that Reed Lashley announces that SMU tight end R.J. Maryland is out for the season.
Oh, wow.
After his injury in the Stanford game. So he's out, man. So let's see how well SMU will fare given this injury, you know, to the team. Something I have to play through now.
Everyone have a fantastic day. Again, the NBA season starts today. You've got two games. First one's going to be at 6:30. The last game's going to be at 9. We'll see what Bronny James does. Bronny James getting 20% of the money, according to FanDuel, on Rookie of the Year, which is stupid. If you want to bet on that, I'll take that bet. I'll give you 10-1 odds. You want to go for Bronny? I'll be happy to give you 10-1 odds.
Bronny.
Give me that money. That's free money that people are giving casinos. But again, we'll talk about the start of the NBA season tomorrow. More drama involving the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow, more than likely. We'll see what happens with that. That's Joe Garcia. My name is Mike Jimenez. Oh, by the way, my number is 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369 for help when it comes to retirement planning, investments, insurances, and things like that. 210-508-0369. I got to get back to work. Got to put on a tie. See you guys tomorrow, fellas.